All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and welcome our debaters for today with a round of applause. Yay! All right, so we welcome you all to the second debate of our 7th hour speech class, and we'd like to welcome Anna as our first speaker for the government with a speech that should not exceed 3 minutes. Our timekeeper today will be Brooke. Wave to him, Brooke. Yay! And so just watch her for your time, and she knows the signals. So, Ms. Timekeeper, let's put 3 minutes on the clock, and you know how to time up, yeah, like with the stopwatch? Okay. All right. And Ms. Timekeeper, are you ready?
So you count down?
She counts down. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds, 15, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You hit that, she says stop. Okay. All right. Ms. Timekeeper, ready? Yes? Okay. Ms. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and begin.
Okay. Hello, I am Ana Belén Ortiz, and I am the Prime Minister. This is my partner, Andrew. I would like to thank the opposing team, the opposition, and the audience, the judge, and the timekeeper. Our topic for today is students who live in the dorm should or shouldn't have to participate in study hours, and we think they should. Our first point is that grades are important. Study hours help raise grades, and by being in study hours, you could help your grade by studying more often and having a schedule. And colleges do, in some places, like higher grades, and it could help you get into college. Our second point is that study hours are good because it helps a schedule. And since study hours are from 7:30 to 9, they happen every day and you have to go, and routines can be good for some people, especially students at St. Paul. So having a good schedule and doing it every day could help your grades. Our third point is that if you have study hours every day, then you don't have to find a time when you have to study every day. Since they are 7:30 to 9, you always have that time to study, and you don't have to find another time. It's a set time, and everyone has it. And our fourth point is that some people could say that they don't want to have to worry about study hours because they have their own study habits and their habits are good enough. But if your grades are at a certain GPA based on your grade level, then you don't have to be on study hours. So if you keep your grades high, then you shouldn't have to worry about being on study hours. But if you are on study hours, then they could help your grade. Okay. Our points were grades are important. They help have a good schedule, and you don't have to find another time, and if your grades are high enough, then you do not have to be on study hours. I would like to thank the opposition for being here, the audience, the judges, and the timekeeper, and remember to vote for government.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper. 2:52. Thank you very much. If you could please put 1 minute on the clock for Faith to prepare her arguments, I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Timekeeper. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Timekeeper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big warm welcome to Faith as the first speaker for the opposition with a round of applause. Yay! We'd like to remind Ms. Speaker and Ms. Timekeeper that again, this is, there, can you get it? You squeeze. Squeeze it. There you go. There you go. Okay, so we'd like to both remind both Speaker and Ms. Timekeeper that again, this is a speech that should not exceed 3 minutes in length. Ms. Timekeeper, are you ready? Fabulous. Ms. Speaker, then, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and begin.
Hello, my name is Faith Brown. I am the leader of the opposition. First, I would like to introduce my partner, Julie, and thanks to the other team, the government, and the audience, the judge, and the timekeeper. The topic that was chosen for today was if dorm students should be, if they should be required to be on study hours. The government said no, and yes, they said yes, they should be, and we have decided to say no, they should not be. Their first point was that grades were important. We do not want to disagree with that, because grades are important. They just... On that first point, we really don't have anything to disagree with, because grades are important to us, and that is a place where study hours would benefit. On their second point, it said that it helps those to keep a schedule. The opposition would like to say that it is not always the best schedule. Like, it may not always be the best schedule for everyone. For example, during basketball season, there's different times for practices, so it may run later, and then that runs into dinner time and kind of messes up some things sometimes. So it does not always help, and it may not be the best schedule for everyone. Their third point is you wouldn't have to find a time to study. The opposition would like to say that for some people, it's their own habit of studying will make it easier for them, to focus when they're on their own time and their own schedule. Yes. Their fourth point, where the grades are fine, if their grades are fine, then they don't have to be on study hours. For that point, we really can't argue either. It is a good point. So our points were that we can't argue the grades are important, and those who are on a schedule may have their own time, and to make it easier for them to focus. Thank you for everybody for coming, and vote for opposition.
Okay, thank you very much. And time, please, Timekeeper. All right, 3 minutes. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, thank you. We'll put that right at 3. Ms. Timekeeper, if you'd please put 1 minute on the clock for Andrew to prepare his statements, please, for the government. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Timekeeper. Let's go ahead and welcome Andrew as the second speaker for the government, please, with a round of applause. Thank you. All right, we'd like to remind both Mr. Speaker and Ms. Timekeeper again that this is a speech that should not exceed 3 minutes in length, please. Ms. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and begin.
Great. Hello, my name is Andrew. I'd like to thank my partner Anna, as well as the opposition and the audience, judges, and timekeeper for being here. So the topic we are arguing is, should there be study hours in the dorm? We have chosen to say that yes, there should be studies in the dorms for various reasons. So the opposing team has said that grades are, or they have agreed with us on 2 of our points, that grades are important, and that if you have good grades, you don't have to be on study hours. However, for 2 points, they have opposed us. The first one is that it's good to have a schedule, like the set time for study hours. But they have said that it's not the best schedule, especially with sports and meal times that can overlap. For this, you have to sports are a commitment, so you have to make other time. So the second point is that you don't have to, or we said you don't have to find time to study because it's there. They said that some people focus better on their own time and maybe can't focus when they're forced to. Well, we say that in the dorms there can be a lot of distractions, especially with lots of other people living there. So it's good to have a set time where everyone is studying rather than just all over the place. Therefore, it's quiet and you can focus. So once again, our points are that the schedule can mess up during sports, but it's just something you'll have to figure out because you've made the commitment to sports, and that you don't have to find time to study because of the set hours, and you can focus better on, or it was less time to focus. So I'd like to thank my partner, the opposition, the audience, judges, and timekeeper, as well as Vote for Government.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper. 2:11. Thank you very much, Ms. Timekeeper. Again, Ms. Timekeeper, will you please put 1 minute on the clock for Julie to please prepare her statements for the opposition? Thank you. Okay, thank you, Ms. Timekeeper. I appreciate that. All right, let's give our second speaker, Ms. Julie, a round of applause for the opposition. I'd like to welcome her to the lack of podium, to the microphone. We'd like to remind Ms. Speaker and Ms. Timekeeper that, again, this is a speech that should not exceed just 3 minutes in length. Ms. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
Fabulous. Ms. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead.
Hello, I'm Julie. I'm from the opposition, and this is my partner Faye. And I will thanks to the government and also the audience, Tam, and the judge. The topic for today is should or should not dorm student being in study hour or not. The government stated yes, but we say no. First, they give the point of grade. We can give any agreement on that because grades are important for college and for everything. And they say study hour have a good schedule, but we disagree because some sport practice will be not in the good schedule for study hour, and it's they that make up, like students can make up all the times, but the opposition says that we not sure that they are lying or not. Like no one will check if they are on study hour or not. Some essay will also don't really go to check for just one person. And the third point is they don't need to find time to find study time. They say that everyone being in study hour will make no distraction, but that is wrong. In study hour, everyone is studying, but some people will not be very quiet. They will make some distraction, like put on music really loud, or maybe sneak out to shower and put on really loud music. And the fourth point is the grades high enough to off study hour. I can disagree with this point too, because grades are important. And once again, I would like to restate my topic is that dorm students should not have been in study hour because of sometimes they will lie and no one will check for them, and the distraction of music from the others. And I would like to thanks to my partner, the government, and the audience, the timekeeper, and the church, and vote for opposition.
Good. Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Speaker. And time, please, Ms. Timekeeper.
224.
I beg your pardon, 2:24?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. 2:24. All right, would you please put one more minute on the clock, please, for Faith? Remember, we're coming back to you, ma'am, for preparations for her final speech for opposition. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Timekeeper. All right, we welcome Ms. Faith back for her final speech for the opposition. Let's give her a round of applause. Yay. Now, this time, we'd like to remind Ms. Speaker and Ms. Timekeeper that this is a speech that should not exceed only 2 minutes in length. Okay, so just 2 minutes. Ms. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
Fabulous. Ms. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead.
My name is Faith Brown. I'm the leader of opposition. I would like to thank my partner, the opposition, and the audience, judge, and timekeeper for being here. I meant the government. They're the government. Sorry. My apologies. The argument brought up today is if dorm students should be required to have study hours and be on them. We say they should not be. The first point brought up are that grades are important and study hours can help improve them since they have a set time, and we still cannot find something to disagree with that because we do believe grades are important and can help with getting into college. The second point that the government brought up is that sports are a commitment, so we should find time around them. The government opposition would like to say that sometimes you can get penalized for not being there during the study hours. Like if you are just like did not really realize what time it was and it's past the required time, you can just be late and then you may get dorm arrest or something like that. The third point is that everyone is studying, so we should be quiet. So my partner, Julie, said that not everyone is quiet, and the rules are not always enforced by the essays, and there may be group studying also. So people will not always be quiet. Fourth point, that if your grades are fine, we should not be in study hours. We still agree with that because we do believe that is a very good purpose of why study hours were made. So I would like to thank everyone for coming here and vote for opposition.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause, please. And time, please, timekeeper. 1:59. All right, thank you so much. All right, one more minute on the clock, please, for Anna to prepare her final statements for the government. Thank you so much, Ms. Timekeeper. Are you crying? I'm just gonna have the debates and stuff.
No, I think I'm cold.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Timekeeper. All right, let's give them a round of applause and welcome Ms. Anna for her final speech and Ms. Timekeeper. It's okay, we'll be all right. He'll get caught up. We appreciate you taking the stand here one more time, and we'd like to remind you, Ms. Speaker and Ms. Timekeeper, again, that this is a speech that should not exceed just 2 minutes in length. Ms. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, fabulous. Ms. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead.
Hello, I'm Anna, the Prime Minister, and I would like to thank my partner again, and the opposition, the audience, the judge, and the timekeeper. Today we are here to debate if dorm students should or should not have to take study hours, and we as the government believe that they should have to take study hours. Our first point was that grades are important, and the opposition could not oppose our point. Our second point was that schedules are good for people, and they said that sometimes the schedules do not work around sports practices, and they get penalized if you do not go to study hours. But if people are on study hours and they choose to lie and not be on it, then it's their responsibility. So it also helps people to learn to be more responsible. And if in some case they need to take early or late, then they can just talk to an SA or the dorm counselor, and then they will not be penalized for not being at the correct time. They also, for the third point, we brought up that the time, they don't have to worry about finding a specific time, but and they said that there is a lot of noise during study hours, but if there are any distractions, then all a student would have to do is tell the SA that they're distracted by the noise, and that SA would then have to go and worry about the noise, and because study hours are a time to be quiet. The fourth point is that if their grades are high enough, then they should not have to be on study hours, and they could also not oppose that point. So again, our 4 points were that grades are important, it's good to have a schedule, a good time frame, and if your grades are high enough, then you do not have to be on study hours. Thank you to the audience, the judges, the timekeeper, and the other team, and remember to vote for government.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper. 1:58. All right, let's give all of our debaters a round of applause today. Yay! You're done. Good job. All right. We'd like to ask that the debaters